Hello and welcome everyone. This is Megan Liz Smith reporting for Status Coup in partnership with Midas Touch. Remember, you can donate for as low as $5 a month. That's how you fund on-the-ground reporting at protests like this. Today we are reporting at a Tax the Rich rally outside of Governor Kathy Hochul's office, where just last Wednesday, 19 people were arrested, including many council members. I have with me right now one of the protesters who was arrested, Zaz. Can I have you introduce yourself and just tell me a little bit about who you are?
Sure. Good afternoon. My name's Zaz. Last week, I was arrested here at Governor Hochul's Manhattan office alongside over a dozen other New Yorkers most impacted by Governor Hochul's inaction and Donald Trump's cuts to health care.
So what brings you out here? What got you involved in the first place?
So in a state with more billionaires than any other, over 1 million New Yorkers are at risk of losing their health care because of the One Big Beautiful Bill, which is objectively the biggest erosion of our nation's health care in our history. So right now we're demanding Governor Hochul tax the rich to protect over 1 million New Yorkers that are at risk of losing their health care on July 1st.
Thank you. And so you'll be speaking at the rally here with, along with Councilmember Chio, who was also recently tackled to the ground and arrested. So can you tell me a little bit about what you'll be speaking on tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to share something a little personal. As a non-binary person, I'm getting gender-affirming top surgery in December. And it's something that I need, and I'm one of the lucky ones. I have insurance. But if I didn't have insurance, there's no way that I would be able to afford the surgery that I need. However, the reality is the over 500,000 New Yorkers that are on the New York Essential Plan that are at risk of losing their health care on July 1st, those folks all are at risk of not being able to get the surgeries that they need. So I wanted to be out here in solidarity with those folks today.
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned the Big Beautiful Bill. I was covering that a lot when that happened last year. It was a big, big bill. And it added $11 trillion to the deficit, which the Trump administration at the time said it was not true. But a lot in the bill was about health care and about people all over the country losing health care, including in New York. And one of the big proponents of the state bill right now, which is delayed, is the health care issue. So what do you think about the New York State bill, and do you think that Kathy Hochul should step in to help fund some of those losses from the Big Beautiful Bill?
Yeah, it's a great question. So right now, the New York State budget is over a month late, and Kathy Hochul is unilaterally holding up the budget process because she's really failing to address the healthcare needs of New Yorkers. As I mentioned, 500,000 New Yorkers on the Essential Plan will lose their coverage on May 1st if lawmakers don't act. But it doesn't have to be like this. Governor Hochul has a choice. She can choose to side with billionaires who are hoarding their wealth in luxury apartments or yachts, or she can tax the rich and fund health care and ensure that, every New Yorker has the health care that they need.
Thank you. So what are some of the solutions that you see for helping to cover that major healthcare deficit? I guess with Kathy Hochul, it could be adding to the bill. She has said that there is not necessarily the money to fund that. Mayor Mamdani has disagreed a bit. What do you think? What are some of the solutions, I guess, that Tax the Rich is hoping for?
Yeah, absolutely. There are a few big bills that we're wanting to support. Governor Hochul recently proposed a new tax on luxury apartments in New York State, and we want to be clear, we support this, but it's certainly not enough. And as I mentioned before, in a state with more billionaires than any other, there's no reason that we can't generate the revenue that we need to cover those budget caps. I misspoke. Yeah. Here we are.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. And so you make a good point that you actually agree with a lot of Kathy Hochul's points. So I am curious, too, some of the proponents of raising the taxes on the wealthy have said, it might lower the tax base because it might cause the wealthy people to want to flee New York. Currently, New York is already the highest taxed country for wealthy earners. I mean, what would you say to that? To people that might say, if you raise taxes on the rich, it will cause the rich to leave New York and then therefore lower the tax base totally.
Yeah, so listen, the billionaire class has the political resources to communicate their misinformation, but the reality is that the billionaires, the richest amongst us, they're not the ones getting pushed out of New York City. If you're a billionaire, if you have hundreds of $1,000s to throw around and tax rates increase, you actually are the one group of people that has the money to stay in New York City. It's also important to note that there was an increased income tax in New Jersey several years back, and there was an excellent study that actually tracked the overall residential rate of different income brackets, and what they found is that basically none of the rich people left. So I would just calculate all of that to fear-mongering.
Thank you. And so I guess wrapping it up, your big issue and your biggest concern right now is healthcare. I see you're thinking maybe not, maybe there's more.
Yeah, can you ask me the question again so I can restate my response?
Yeah, well, it sounds like the biggest issue for you right now is healthcare, which I have heard from a lot of people on the ground is one of the biggest issues because, again, like the big beautiful bill that was passed on July 4th will cause millions of Americans to lose healthcare. Do you think that's the most pressing issue for you right now, I guess, in comparison to, say, like the economy or the Iran war or other similar topics?
Absolutely. I think healthcare is top of the line. You know, there are over 1 million New Yorkers that are at risk of losing their healthcare. But again, it's important to remember that in a state that's as wealthy as ours, Governor Hochul is, not putting her money where her mouth is when it comes to healthcare, when it comes to climate, when it comes to SNAP benefits. These are all arenas that are being affected by Trump's budget cuts. And the reality is that, we shouldn't be having to fight over slices of the pie for these issues.
All right, well, thank you. It looks like people are starting to gather. I'll let you go. Thank you for taking the time. We'll see you out there. No, that was good. That was very good. All right, and we are live right now with Status Coup. Let's check out a little bit about what's going on if we want to get a little closer. And so right now we can see people holding up signs. This is the start of a rally, which is scheduled to start around 5:45 and go until 6:24. We'll see if they actually start on that timing. Among some of the members scheduled to speak are, again, Chio, the Zaz, the person that we just spoke to. This is outside of Governor Kathy Hochul's office, as well as the Bloomberg corporate offices. This is Kathy Hochul's new office. She moved recently. This is her Manhattan-based office. There were also actually recently protests outside of her Albany office, where a few people were arrested, and these were climate activists. Today, this is the Tax the Rich rally. All right, let's see if we can talk to someone else. Stay on a little bit. All right, we're going to stay on this a little bit, see what's going on, and we will be ready when the speakers start. Thank you for joining us. This is Status Coup.
Hello. Is volume good? Volume's good? Cool. Sorry. We'll start in just a couple minutes. Thank you all so much for being here.
When Medicaid is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When workers are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When New York is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When immigrants are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When Medicaid is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When workers are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When New York is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When immigrants are under attack, attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. You know this one. Tax the rich.
Tax the rich.
Tax the rich. Tax the rich. Tax the rich. Tax the rich. Tax the rich. Tax the rich.
Tax the rich.
Hey, hey, ho, ho. Billionaires have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Billionaires have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Billionaires have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Billionaires have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Billionaires have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Billionaires have got to go.
Hey, hey.
Which side are you on?
Which
Side are you on, Kathy Hochul? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, Kathy Hochul? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, Kathy Hochul? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, Kathy Hochul? Tax the rich. 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 Tax the rich.
Tax the rich. Tax the rich.
Let's try and talk.
Tax the rich.
Excuse me.
Tax the rich.
Could I ask you some questions while we're bringing you out today?
Tax
Keep going around.
Tax the rich.
Stop the cuts.
Tax the rich.
Stop the
Could I ask?
Tax the rich.
Stop the cuts.
Mainly because I'm covering the same story for an assignment for school. Yeah, but this matters to me too. I live here. I'm from the Bronx, and I think they should tax the rich more. We need funding. We need to stop the cuts. Yeah, pretty much.
Oh wow. So you grew up in the Bronx.
Yeah, I grew up in the Bronx my whole life.
What did you think during the 2008 financial crisis when Tax the Rich was really getting started?
Sorry?
What did you think during the 2008 financial crisis when Tax the Rich was really getting started?
I was pretty young that day, so I don't really remember that, but
So now is your time when you're coming out, I guess, and starting to get involved with it all.
yeah, so it's my time, and I've still have the rest of my future to get through. So, and I plan on living here for the rest of my life. So, might as well make the change now.
What would you like to see happen with Tax the Rich? What would you like to see happen with Tax the Rich?
What would I like to see to happen?
Oh, and I think we're getting started, so we'll turn back. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Just last week, 19 New Yorkers were arrested right here, inside of the governor's office, right behind us, demanding that he tax the rich and stop over 1 million New Yorkers from losing their health care. Shame on you. Shame! We are going to keep showing up on Kathy Hochul's doorstep again and again, wherever she is, until she delivers a budget that works for working people. We have the momentum. We can get this done. Because of our pressure, this week, City Council Speaker Julie Menon joined the mayor to offer support for rolling back New York's hedge fund handouts. Unions representing over 300,000 New Yorkers statewide signed on to tax the rich. And the governor agreed to a pied-à-terre tax, which is a fancy name for a tax on super expensive second homes. But we need to do more. That tax fills less than 10% of New York's budget gap. And it doesn't support New Yorkers and the rest of the state. The vast majority of New Yorkers, the vast majority of working people in our city and in our state want to tax the rich. We want to tax the rich so we can have a life that we can afford, so that we can have a life where we can live in dignity. In fact, taxing the rich is more popular than Governor Kathy Hochul. The governor is out of step with the majority of New Yorkers, with the labor movement, with leaders at every level of government. If she wants working class New Yorkers to back her up in this year's election, she needs to back us up by taxing the rich. We've got a great tight program for you today, and it is my honor to introduce our very first speaker. She sponsors the bill to tax the most profitable corporations in New York City to deliver for working families. Everybody welcome Senator Kristen Gonzalez.
Hi, everyone. How are we feeling today? Are you ready to tax the rich? All right. I don't think Governor Hochul can hear you. What do you want?
Tax the rich.
When do you want it?
Now.
That's right. Because we truly cannot wait to raise revenue at the city and state level. As you know, we have a city budget crisis. $5.4 billion needed to fund our essential services, to fund you and me and the people we love in this city. And so far, we've made some progress. We got a pied-à-terre tax, right? Which is exciting. But do you think that's enough?
No.
Right now, we're asking for a pass-through entity tax. Do you think that's enough?
No.
That's right, because what we need to do in order to actually close that gap is tax the wealthiest New Yorkers and the wealthiest corporations. My name is Kristen Gonzalez. I am a socialist state senator. Been in office for about 4 years, and I ran for office because I grew up in Queens. Shout out to Queens. I know we got some Queens in the house. Where I saw everyday New Yorkers work around the clock, multiple jobs, to just barely get by. And the truth is, from the time I grew up in the city to today, that's only gotten harder. We have an affordability crisis. We have a federal government that is systemically disinvesting in all of us, and millions of New Yorkers right now, as a result, about to lose their health care. There has never been a moment more serious than this one for us to actually step up and fight for working people. And that's why, alongside my colleague, Assemblymember Diana Moreno, we introduced the Corporate Fair Share Act. Now let me tell you about the Corporate Fair Share Act. It gives the city the ability to raise taxes on the wealthiest corporations. 88 of those corporations paid $0 in federal taxes. If you paid $1 in federal taxes, which literally everyone here and every New Yorker I speak to has, you paid more than these corporations. And that's not right. Corporations like Citigroup, which, by the way, also pay $0 in state taxes. There is no reason why we cannot pass the Corporate Fair Share Act, because all the data tells us is that these corporations have made record profits while we've continued to struggle. And a bill like this would not only raise $1.7 billion, but it would also be a nominal increase for them. It would be less than 0.2% for corporations like Meta in the total taxes they pay. So why is it that our governor, Kathy Hochul, cannot simply look at the data with us, see each and every person here who has gotten behind this bill, and stand with us? I want to say thank you to all of you for showing up today, because you represent thousands of New Yorkers that want to see, and millions of New Yorkers that are represented by Democratic Socialists like myself and our Mayor Zoran Mamdani, that want to see us do the right thing. And right now, corporations are lobbying more than ever to make sure this doesn't happen, because they are scared of you. They are scared of our collective power. And to every New Yorker who does not think this concerns them, I ask you, if you work for a company and you haven't seen your wages increase the same their company's profit has, that was your labor and profit they stole. It is time to take it back. This concerns all of us, and we deserve a fully funded city. So one more time, what do we want? And when do we need it? That's right. Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to our organizers.
And again, if you're watching live, that was Senator Kristen Gonzalez. She is the sponsor of the city corporate tax.
She has been fighting for working New Yorkers. She is fighting in Albany. She is fighting to tax the wealthiest corporations. Thank you, Senator Gonzalez. Up next, I am so honored to introduce a woman who was just elected to the Assembly this year. The first bill that she introduced was with Senator Gonzalez to tax the rich. Everyone give it up for Assemblymember Deanna Moreno.
Tax the rich. 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 Hello, everyone. Are we ready to tax the rich? Are we ready to fund social programs? Are we ready to finally put the dignity of workers at the center of New York State politics? Well, so am I, my friends. And listen, there's a reason why I have this 25-pound toddler in tow while I'm making my case, because this is about his future. And I am here representing tired mamas everywhere, because we are damn tired. We are tired of our tax dollars going to war and genocide instead of education and healthcare. We are tired of our immigrant neighbors being kidnapped and families separated instead of being cherished and protected. We are tired that in 2026, when the climate crisis is here, we have a governor that's trying to roll back the climate law. And we have the solution, folks. We know that there is more than enough in the wealthiest city in the history of this country, in the history of this planet. We know that billionaires have had it way too good for way too long, and it is our moment, folks. It is the time that the working class fight back and fight for what we deserve, the New York where our children can thrive, the New York where working families can stay, because it is working families that are leaving the state, not millionaires and billionaires. And that is why I've been in office for 3 months, y'all. And I am tired. And the reason I decided to do this is because I know that I am fighting for my child's future. It is because I know that the world we deserve is within reach, and we showed it with a historic election last year, with a mayor that is showing us what it's like to put the agenda of working people front and center. We are asking Governor Hochul to join us, because you are looking real lonely over there, honey. We are telling you, it is time. The polls are showing that this is incredibly popular with voters. This council speaker is on board, telling us that it is time for Albany to step up, and you need to meet the moment. This is the moment that we are going to pass my corporate fair share bill alongside Senator Gonzalez. This is the moment to tax the wealthiest corporations and the wealthiest New Yorkers, because my kid loves buses and we need some good public transportation. Because my kid loves nature and we need a planet that he can inherit. Because my kid is the son of an immigrant from Ecuador, and immigrants deserve a state where immigrants are protected and cherished. And the only way that we can fully fund the state that I know he deserves is through ensuring that the folks who have taken too much for too long pay their fair share. Governor Hochul, it's on you. I know you're a mama. I know you want to fight for the future of your child and grandchild. It is time to tax the rich. Tax the rich! Tax the rich! Tax the rich! Tax the rich!
Tax the rich!
And if you're joining us now, we are outside Kathy Hochul's office. This is Status Coup.
That's right! Tax the rich! Woo! Woo! We are united in the legislature. We are united as workers.
To add a little context for today, we are currently very delayed on the state bill, on the state budget, which was due on April 1st. It is now April 30th, and they are expecting the state budget to take until possibly June. The New York City bill is also delayed because of this, and it is important to note that the state budget has been delayed the past 3 years in a row. Kathy Hochul, when asked about this, had said, "What incentives do I have to rush the bill, given that these delays can help with my negotiations?"
To support the Corporate Fair Share Act, to support taxes on the rich. Give it up, everyone, for Councilmember Alexa Aviles. All right, mi gente, what do we want to do?
Tax the rich!
No, y'all. We want to tax the motherfucking rich. Sorry for the little ears, but that's how we're feeling, and because that's what our people deserve. Our people deserve child care, education, not by zip code. All children deserve quality education. Our people deserve health care, not by zip code, not by birthright, because you are human and you deserve the dignity of full health care. Yes. So we know that there is money, and the 1% got the money. And we are saying, tax the motherfucking rich. Because we are tired of having this conversation. And our city needs it now. Our children need it now. Our elders need it now. They don't need it in 20 years. So the decent thing to do is to tax the rich. Other states are doing it. New York can do it. We have billionaires that are making money off the backs of our workers. And we deserve all those things. It is not an entitlement. It is what people in a civilized society do for each other. So Kathy, as these signs say, which side are you on? Tax the rich. Get us what we need. And last but not least, tax the motherfucking rich. Let's go.
What's happening tonight outside of Hochul's office isn't happening in a vacuum. Just today, the Maine governor, Janet Mills, suspended her campaign for Senate, clearing the path for progressive candidate Graham Plattner. Both are Democrats, but Graham Plattner is standing much more on a tax the rich platform.
And we are a movement across the state and the city. Do we have anyone from Manhattan? Anyone from Queens? All right, what about Brooklyn? I'm from Brooklyn. Let's go. All right. Next up from Brooklyn and the Bronx. Let's go. Sorry. Staten Island. Let's go. All right. Our next speaker is representing Brooklyn, is a fighter for the working people of Brooklyn, is fighting for housing, for health care, for investments in our communities. It is my great pleasure and honor to introduce Councilmember Chio.
I don't think Kathy Hochul can hear us. Kathy, we want you to what? I can't hear you guys. Kathy, we want you to what? 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 There was this narrative that happened right before Zoran won the primary and the general election. They said that if Zoran won, then the rich would flee the city. Well, Zoran won the primary, and then he won the general election, and the rich are still here. After that happened, we were advocating for there to be a pied-à-terre tax. And the rich were saying, if that happens, we're going to leave the city. And we won a pied-à-terre tax, and the rich are still here. This past week, we were advocating for a hedge fund tax, the PTET tax. And we got that secured. The mayor and the speaker stood together. The rich said that they would leave, and the rich are still here. The people who are leaving our city, are working class New Yorkers. Working class New Yorkers who can't afford rent, who can't afford childcare, who can't afford health care. And that's why we are out here today to ask Kathy Hochul to what? Tax! To what? Tax! To what? Tax! No, we have secured 3 huge wins over the past year and making huge strides in taxing the rich. If Hochul says we can't do it, we will push back because we know that we will win. We will tax the rich. We will fund our people. We will build the working class up, and we will fight back and make sure that the 1% here in New York City will pay their fair share. So one more time so Kathy can hear us. Kathy, we want you to what? Tax the rich! We want you to what? Tax the rich! We want you to what? Tax the rich! Thank you very much, everybody.
That was Councilmember Chio who was actually arrested last Wednesday in a property dispute in Bed-Stuy where he was protesting an eviction. He's been going viral on TikTok.
DSA's Tax the Rich campaign. It fills me with such joy and strength and warmth to see you all out here today. So our refrain today obviously has been Hochul, which side are you on, right? So what do we mean when we say that? I'm sure everyone here has heard of Trump's one big beautiful bill, right? Yeah. Pretty bad stuff, right? Massive historic giveaways to the richest Americans.
Passed on July 4th, 2025.
Corporations. And on the other hand, massive cuts to Medicaid, healthcare, SNAP, essential programs that hundreds of millions of Americans, working class and low-income Americans rely on, right? This is a historic attack on working people. Now, here in New York, in the next year, more than 1 million New Yorkers, healthcare is at risk due to these cuts. In July alone, almost 500,000 New Yorkers will lose their essential plan coverage, right? This is shameful. This is shameful. In the year after that, massive cuts to Medicaid threaten the health care of, again, more than 1 million New Yorkers. And the cuts are just going to get worse after that, right? We live in the richest state in the country. The richest are about to get a $12 billion tax cut from the federal government, and there's more than enough wealth for the state to tax some of that, recapture it, and protect all New Yorkers' health care, the essential plan, Medicaid, SNAP, and beyond. Seems pretty easy, right? There should be a political layup for the governor. However, we know who she answers to. It is those same billionaires, the same large corporations who are benefiting from this massive tax cut. That's why we say, Kathy Hochul, which side are you on? Are you on the side of the billionaires, of the Trump administration, or of working New Yorkers? And that's why we're out here today. So with no further ado, I'm going to introduce another speaker, my illustrious co-chair of the Tax the Rich campaign, Batul Hassan. Give it up for Batul. Thank you, Batul.
Thanks, Eric. Hey, everybody. I'm Batul. I'm one of the co-chairs of the New York City DSA Tax the Rich campaign. Thank you, everybody who's been fighting as part of this campaign. The budget is still not here, so we're still out here in front of Kathy Hochul's office. She works on this side of the building, apparently. And today, the governor agreed to meet with Citadel CEO Ken Griffin. I don't know if people know who Ken Griffin is, but he is a billionaire with dozens of properties across the country, including a $300 million penthouse next to Central Park. And he's not spending his time with his yacht, which he has. He's not spending his time with his $600 million art collection today. He's meeting with our governor who has failed to deliver a budget that works for working class people in New York, a budget that is allowing Trump's cuts to hit black and brown New Yorkers most, with cuts to Medicaid and to SNAP. It is disgusting. This is who she spends her time with, instead of coming out here and talking with us. Throughout this entire campaign, Kathy Hochul has publicly been saying that when her constituents are loud, she stops listening to them. That's our governor. She says that when we demand something of her, she turns off, she turns away, she turns to the billionaires who got her elected. This is unacceptable. The governor's budget is a month late, and we have not won enough to fill even the New York City's city budget gap. We still need to win billions more in revenue to fill the city budget gap. And as socialists, we know that the most stable, sustainable way to fund public goods is through recurring revenue in the form of taxes on the rich, corporations, and millionaires who do not pay what they owe back to the working class. We also know that when Kathy Hochul says she doesn't listen to us, she's lying. She's lying. She agreed to enact a pied-à-terre tax on residences that are worth more than $5 million after months and months and months of telling us that she would not put any taxes in this budget. She's scared. She blinked once. And now, even corporate Democrat Julie Menon, the Speaker of the City Council, is publicly supporting taxes on hidden wealth that the rich hide.
Julie Menon is coming together with Mayor Zoran Mamdani to support this.
On an island in her opposition to taxing the rich in this year's state budget. Pied-à-terre is not enough. Even taxing hidden incomes is not enough. We know that we need that money to fund the affordability agenda, to beat fascism that's rising in the United States. We need to be delivering on public schools, public housing, the climate crisis, so much more. So we're going to keep going. We are fighting to tax those hidden incomes. We're fighting to win taxes on luxury commodities. We're taxing millionaires and billionaires and the corporations in particular who earn their wealth. They hoard their wealth off the backs of the working class. We have the power. We have weeks more of this budget. We will not stop. Come out on Wednesday. We will be canvassing in Brooklyn. This is a major escalation moment in the campaign, and we need everyone to keep coming out consistently. Thank you so much.
And that was Batul Hassan, co-chair of the New York City Democratic Socialists and the Tax the Rich campaign.
As Ariel mentioned earlier, 1 week ago today, on the north side of the lobby, over 100 New Yorkers occupied the lobby to highlight the coming harm to New Yorkers due to the cuts to health care that Hochul is allowing to unfold upon us. One of the brave and principled participants of that action is here with us today. I'd love to introduce Zaz Scott, one of our amazing lobbying chairs for the campaign.
This is Zaz, who we spoke to earlier on the live stream. If you're interested in going back to see the interview, go back to the start.
What do we want? Tax the rich! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Tax the rich! When do we want it? Now! Last week, right here outside Governor Hochul's Manhattan office, I was arrested alongside 18 other New Yorkers most impacted by Donald Trump's cuts to health care and Governor Hochul's inaction. We put our bodies on the line to demand two things from this governor: that she tax the rich, but also that she stop the health care cuts that will affect 1 million New Yorkers across our state. I want to talk a little bit more about that and start with the one big beautiful bill that Donald Trump has pushed forward. Now, the one big beautiful bill is the biggest erosion of health care coverage in our nation's history. It is stealing from the working class, stealing their health care to line the pockets of billionaires. The bill cut $1 trillion in Medicare, and almost 500,000 New Yorkers will lose their essential plan coverage on July 1st if lawmakers act. Don't act. Don't act. Now, it's important to note, it doesn't have to be like this. Governor Hochul has a choice. In a state with more billionaires than any other, she can choose to side with the wealthiest amongst us, or she can choose to make the politically courageous choice to stand with the working people, tax the rich, and fund our health care. I want to share something personal, which is why I wanted to speak today. It's something that I wouldn't always share with a big crowd like this. I'm having, as a non-binary person, I'm having gender-affirming top surgery in December. It's something that I need. It's something that I've always needed, and I'm lucky. I have insurance. I can pay for it. I want to say that if I did not have insurance, there is no way I could afford the surgery that I need. Last week at the action, we read the testimony of New Yorkers from across the state who couldn't be there. And we read the testimony of a New Yorker like me who needs the same surgery that I do, who's had to cancel their surgery date because they are going to lose their essential plan health insurance on July 1st if lawmakers don't act now. Governor Hochul, I have a question for you. What about all the New Yorkers that need surgery but are about to lose their health insurance? Do their lives matter to you? Governor Hochul has a choice. Again, she can side with the billionaires that hoard their wealth in luxury apartments and in yachts, or she can make a choice to stand with working people, to tax the rich, and to make sure that no New Yorker has to walk away from the health care that they need. I want to say one more thing here. A few months ago, I'm sure everyone remembers, New Yorkers across our 5 boroughs were mobilized to fight for the election of Zohran Mamdani for an affordable New York that we all need. Right now, our governor is determined to block that agenda, but New Yorkers deserve to deliver on an affordability agenda that over 1 million New Yorkers voted for. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye-bye.
I want to add a little context to the healthcare. There's also analysis from the Greater New York Hospital Association and the Healthcare Association of New York State that estimates a total of $8 billion in annual cuts to New York's hospitals and health systems due to the big beautiful bill, which could lead to hospitals curtailing needs, maternity care, psychiatric treatment, and downsizing operations and closing entirely.
Hi, can you hear me? Yes, we needed to be here, right? Okay. My name is Roshan Shorkar. Everyone call me Nipa. I am the community organizer for the drum. This is Rising Up and Moving. From you, I think you know that drum is work for South Asian immigrant working class people. Yes. Truly working class people. I am here to represent them. I am here to share their own experience or their own concern and their own tension about the losing Medicaid. You know, I want to share one story. Last week, my one-off leader shared that, Appa, I want to buy some beef, but it is, more than $6 a pound. That's true. My members, my community peoples, working class peoples, they struggle for their regular daily needs. Think about them. They are sick. Here I have a few of members. Among them, 1 or 2 are actually a surgery patient. They had the open heart surgery. They need the regular medication. They need the regular supervision. Everything. What will they do if the medication cut? Right? They will wait for dying because they have no option. That's why I want to say, Governor Kathy Hochul, you have the option, as my previous speaker already said, you have the option to be with the billionaire or to be with us, but we have no option. If you don't tax the rich, if you don't actually serve your people, we will only for dying. We will count our day when we will die. That's true. That's fact. So we voted for you, and you have to do your duty. Do for our people. This is the only do. I will end up here. I want to chant one Bangla as I represent from Bangla. So, yeah, tomorrow will be the May Day, the World Workers' Day. Of course, I believe every day is the Workers' Day. Yes. So, I will say, Duniyar Mazdoor. That's there. Okay. Duniyar Mazdoor! Ek ho ladai karo! Ek ho ladai karo! Thank you.
This is Roshan Sarkar, who is saying that if you are not going to tax the rich and do these healthcare cuts from the big beautiful bill, it will lead directly to death.
Fight for your rights. Thank you so much. And tax the rich!
As you can see, healthcare is a major concern for people today.
Tax the the rich! Tax the rich!
Thank you, Roshan. Thanks for being here. Give it up for Roshan.
I want to take this moment to call out that Status Coup is covering on-the-ground reporting, and you can support us by donating as low as $5 a month. If you want to become a member, go onto our website right now.
Coalition leading the fight at the state level for a just tax system, for taxing the rich and investing in our communities. Bravin, come on up here.
How we all doing? I can't hear you. How we all doing? My name is Bravin. I am the campaign manager with Invest in Our New York, a coalition of 80-plus organizations across our state fighting to make New York more equitable by taxing the rich so we can fund our communities. I'm also a proud member of DSA. Is DSA in the house? We are here because our budget is nearly a month late. In part because Kathy Hochul is trying to roll back our landmark climate law. When our climate's under attack, what do? Stand up, fight back! Meanwhile, Trump and his cronies in Washington have stolen billions of dollars from the working people of our state. They did all of this to make their already rich friends in New York get a $12 billion tax cut this year alone. Because of the federal cuts, 1 million New Yorkers could lose their health insurance. Hundreds of thousands of New Yorkers could go hungry because of cuts to SNAP. And cities all across our state, including here in New York, face budget crises. Now, the affordability crisis existed before the federal cuts. We all know this. New Yorkers can't afford their rent. They can't afford their groceries, and the prospect of raising a family is out of reach for most New Yorkers. Now, our Governor Kathy Hochul talks a big game about standing up to Trump and delivering on the affordability crisis. But is she willing to put her money where her mouth is? No. Is she willing to exercise some political courage by making the corporations and the ultra-rich pay what they owe? And that means filling federal cuts, but it also means getting Zoran the money he needs to enact his wildly popular affordability agenda. Like passing truly universal child care, including paying our child care workers a living wage. Now, Governor Hochul for months said, read my lips, no new taxes on the rich. She even said, the more you push me, the more I dig in. And that's because she wasn't listening to the vast majority of New Yorkers. She was listening to her billionaire donors. These billionaires think they can buy our government. Are we going to let them? No! And we are getting to the governor. Earlier this month, she announced a tax on the second homes of billionaires. And that is because of the pressure that we have built. It's a first step, but it's not nearly enough. It doesn't do enough to fill the city's budget crisis. It doesn't do enough to fill the federal cuts. And it doesn't include a dime for the rest of the state. But we are building momentum. We've built a coalition of unions, of grassroots organizations, of elected officials that represent millions of New Yorkers around our state demanding action on this issue. And now even Julie Menon came out in support of closing loopholes that allow corporations to shield their wealth. Are we going to stop here? No! Are we going to keep going? Yes! We are going to show up at Kathy Hochul's doorstep wherever she is until she delivers a budget that works for the working people of our state. Yeah! And how are we going to do it, y'all? Say with me, tax the
Rich!
Tax the
Rich!
Tax the
Rich!
Thank you all so much.
Yeah!
When I say tax the rich, you say make them pay.
And that was Bravin Ranga.
Make them pay!
Tax the rich!
Make them pay!
Tax the rich!
Make them pay!
Make them pay!
Tax the rich!
Make them pay!
Tax the rich!
Make them pay!
Tax the rich!
We've got about 30 to 40 people behind us chanting.
Okay, so the budget, as folks have said, is now a month late. It was due on April 1st. May 1st, May Day is tomorrow. The budget is decided by the governor and by the leaders of the legislature in buildings like this one and in buildings like our state capitol. And the governor thinks that she can make this call, she can end this budget without listening to the people of New York. We're not going to let that happen.
No!
Absolutely not. Workers want to tax the rich. The city council is listening to the people when it says we want to tax the rich to fund our city. The legislature is listening to the people when they say we want to tax the rich to fund child care and health care. The mayor is listening to the people when he says we want to tax the rich to fund the affordability agenda. Kathy Hochul, you are on your own. We're on the brink of winning lots and lots of money, billions of dollars to fund lives that we can afford, and I think that we can get there together.
Me too. Thanks, Ariel. And yeah, I mean, as people know, we like to have fun in the tax the rich movement. We like to chant tax the rich at Governor Hochul when she appears at rallies. We like to have a little fun with giant cutout heads. We like to occupy the lobby. We try to have a little fun, right? But this is serious. At the root of this is two very different visions of a future that we're fighting for. In refusing to tax the rich, the governor is defending a future in which working people don't have access to health care, in which if they need to get health care, they're going bankrupt. They're racking up tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars of medical bills. It's a future in which we have understaffed city agencies, slow buses, underinvested in infrastructure and trains, working people, wasting hours of their lives away on inadequate in lines and inadequate transit infrastructure. And ultimately, a world in which working people are disempowered and atomized, don't have protections, and are shut out of the political system. It's a pretty bad vision, right? That's a bad future. And that's the vision that she's defending when she refuses to tax the rich. But the reason, that's right. But the reason we're here today, the reason that I look out and I see so many faces who have been with us since the beginning at our first rally in November, knocking doors in the frigid, historic blizzards of January and February, who went up to Albany with us on a cold winter morning. The reason we're here is because we share and are brought together by a different vision, a vision of empowered working people, a vision of a just society, a vision of excellent public services that allow us all to thrive and live lives of ambition and peace and love and joy. And right, so the governor might like to say, well, you just want to tax the rich because you want to punish rich people. It's so glib. It's not true, right? So in closing, I'm so grateful for everyone who came here today. We are going to keep this tight and give you the rest of your evenings back. But first, we are going to gather everyone here with their backs here, looking that way, so we can take a massive picture of all of us together, show how many of us are here in front of the governor's office today, and have something we can all take with us.
Are we going to stop after tonight?
No!
Right. Are we going to stop until we win a budget that puts working people first?
No!
That's absolutely right. All right.
That's right. That's right. What's that number?
518-474-8390.
That's right.
If you're just joining us now, this is a Tax the Rich rally outside of Kathy Hochul's office in Manhattan.
8390.
Thank you very much. Okay, so I would really appreciate it if our friends in the press would take some steps back to give us room to gather here.
All right. We are going to talk to some people now.
Bring a friend. Say hello to the
When Medicaid is under attack, what do we do? When workers are under attack, what do we do?
Excuse me, sir. Can I ask what brings you out here today?
Yeah, sure. Out here to try to get Kathy Hochul to tax the rich.
How long have you been involved with Tax the Rich?
Been involved for 3 years since the last time we campaigned on taxing the rich.
Oh, what first got you involved?
Just seeing that this is an unaffordable city and feeling like the income inequality in this country is over the top, and too many people have so little while other people are living off of the labor of others.
And it is one of the wealthiest cities in the world, too. Can I ask what neighborhood you live in?
City in the wealthiest country in the world, and most people, if they have kids, they have to move out of the city, and it's just not affordable.
Can I ask what borough you live in?
Which,
Yeah, what borough?
Oh, yeah, this borough.
You live in Manhattan?
Yes, just about a 15-minute walk from here.
Okay, so this is very close to you. Oh, this is amazing. Yeah, we're going to turn and take a picture of what's going on right here. Wow.
Which side are you on, Kathy Hochul? Which side are you on? Tax the rich! Which side are you on, Kathy Hochul?
So this is everyone gathered together for Tax the Rich.
Tax the rich! Everyone get home safe. We'll be here week after week. If you're free next Wednesday night, we have a canvas happening in Prospect Park at 6 p.m.
So I want to give a little context to what's going on here today. The New York budget is now 30 days late. It was due on April 1st. Now, I do want to note that the New York State budget has been delayed for the past 5 years in a row. It seems that Kathy Hochul does not have a lot of reasonings to push it forward. The delays are helpful with her negotiations. But I also want to note that this is a part of a wider context right now with some of the New York primaries that are coming up on June 23rd and then all around the country. Democrats are really focusing on electing Democrats, especially in the state, and especially in the Senate, And so the stakes are real. And as we heard tonight, healthcare is a major issue. Over 2 million New Yorkers are at risk of losing health coverage because of Trump's federal Medicaid cuts. And Hochul says that the state can't afford to fill the gap. New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani is also going to be delayed on the city's bill because of the state's bill, because the state's budget being delayed. So let's go talk to some people. Yeah. Excuse me, sir. I was curious. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
Just that Kathy Hochul has held off the budget for a full month, trying to find other ways of getting around taxing the rich. And it's about time she just settle into the new regime and the new era and tax the rich.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you. Let's see if there's anyone else we want to talk to. Thank you. All right. So we had a lot of amazing speakers tonight. We spoke to Zaz before the rally started. We're going to see if we can speak to, let's see, I think this gentleman over here. Oh, and this is Ariel, our spokesperson. Could I possibly ask you a few questions? And everyone's calling for Ariel. And this is our MC, Ariel. Oh, nice. All right. Hi. Oh, all right. Oh. Hey, excuse me, sir. Can I ask you some questions about what brings you out here today?
Oh, sure, of course.
All right. So how long have you been involved with Tax the Rich? And actually, and here's our MC, Ariel, too. If you're ready, could we ask you a few questions as well? Sure, either of you guys. So I'm curious, what brings either of you out here today? You're the MC.
Yeah, I mean, I want to be able to afford to live in this city. I'm a worker, I'm a renter. A lot of my friends have children, and people are making really hard choices about whether or not they can afford to stay in the city that we love so much. And we're only going to win the city that we deserve, a city that we all can afford, if we get a lot more revenue into making our lives more affordable. Things like childcare, healthcare, transit, housing. So the only way to get there is by taxing the rich.
Thank you. And I'm curious too. So you're a protester here today. You're a supporter of tax the rich?
Of course.
Right. And what brings you out here?
Same thing. I mean, it's pretty simple. There's too much corporate influence and billionaires, and we just want to make them pay their fair share.
Thank you. And so you're the MC for today. Can I have you tell us a little bit about your role with Tax the Rich?
Yeah, I'm one of the co-chairs of the Tax the Rich campaign for New York City DSA. So I've been supporting the campaign since its inception, and our many, many thousands of people, volunteers, leaders, organizers who have been making this happen all across the state.
So there was a lot of issues mentioned tonight. Healthcare is one of the biggest ones after the big, beautiful bill passed on July 4th of last year. Many New Yorkers are looking at healthcare cuts. So can I have you talk a little bit about the healthcare needs that New Yorkers are facing today?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Hundreds of thousands of people are losing their essential plan coverage this summer. Next year, 100,000 more will lose their Medicaid. And everyone knows what that means for their lives, right? You need to go to the doctor when you're sick. Many people, including myself, take regular medication that keeps us healthy, that keeps us alive and well. And without health insurance and without the support from the federal government, people will get sicker and people may die. So it's really a life or death issue for New Yorkers whether or not we tax the rich and fund our health care. You know, the wealthiest New Yorkers got $12 billion in tax breaks because of the One Big Beautiful Bill. So, you know, what we're saying is, like, let's get that back so that we can support people living healthy and dignified lives.
Thank you. And I want to ask you a few more questions too. So let me, if I could just finish off here too. And can I have you introduce yourself and tell us your name?
Sure. I'm Jordan. I live in Brooklyn.
Awesome. And so, Jordan, what are some of the issues that are most important to you right now?
I think taxing the rich is a big one. I think foreign influence on our country and our politics is a big problem. And I don't think it's a bipartisan. I mean, I think it's a bipartisan issue. It's not a matter of whether you're on the left or the right. Everyone wants to tax the rich because they can see what them not paying their fair share is doing. We could have health care. We could have child care. We could have so much. And I think people are opening their eyes to this. And I think it's only a matter of time before enough people get to the point where we can pressure people into doing what is best for everyone. Of course, yeah. I'm a DSA member. I canvassed for him. I was one of the many thousands of people who wanted to see him in office and enact his agenda for, affordability.
Well, thank you, Jordan. Thank you. I'm going to ask Ariel a few more questions if we can. All right. Well, thank you. So now I'm curious, too, what are some of the other big issues, specifically around climate? Because I know, there was also recently a lot of arrests in Albany with protesters trying to get Kathy Hochul's attention on climate issues. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, the governor is trying to take steps to roll back New York's climate law. Obviously, that's really unacceptable. That law is in place to ensure that we have a just transition to a more resilient future. And New York has got to do its part. And the governor is making a real mistake by trying to roll it back. And the people of New York don't want to see that. People want a climate-safe future. People want a future for themselves and their kids, and the governor is betting against the future here.
Okay, well, that's interesting. And so I think I've heard a little bit of Kathy Hochul's reasoning too, where it was that rolling back the protections might make it more possible to build more housing. I mean, what are the thoughts behind that too? Because I know sometimes with the climate protections, it can cause delays of I think years too.
I'm not familiar with that argument. But we know that fossil fuels are extremely volatile and the price is extremely volatile. So by continuing to rely on fossil fuels, we're signing up New Yorkers for volatile and high energy bills, both at the pump, but also our heating and cooling bills in our homes. So if we're really serious about affordability, we have to be really serious about building out public renewables, building out renewable infrastructure that is owned by the people of New York, so that we can have reliable fuel sources to heat and cool our homes, to get around, that are not as volatile and that are, that are accessible to people.
Yeah, and affordability is the big issue. I mean, even just For myself, I was looking at flights recently, and flights have gone up over 15%, 15 to 20% because of jet fuel prices with the Iran war. Camera gear, very specifically, has also gone up because of tariffs. And it's not just camera gear, it is all types of goods have gone up due to tariffs. So what have you been hearing from New Yorkers on the ground about affordability?
I mean, people are really, really struggling, right? The cost of groceries have gone up, rents have gone up, childcare is $20,000 a year on average for a child in New York City. You know, these are the core things that are coming, utility bills, energy bills, the core expenses that people are paying every day. These aren't luxuries, right? Groceries are not a luxury. You know, having a place to live is not a luxury. Having health care is not a luxury. These are human rights. And they're becoming less and less affordable for people. And more New Yorkers are having to scrape by or are not able to scrape by. And it's a huge crisis for our city.
And one of my last questions, with the upcoming midterms, are there any candidates that Tax the Rich wants to talk about or that you are interested in helping?
Sure. New York City DSA has endorsed a slate of incredible candidates for Congress, State Assembly, and State Senate this year. So I can try to pull all their names. For Congress, we've endorsed Claire Valdez and Daria Lisa Chevalier. For State Senate, we've endorsed Abir Kawas. For State Assembly, we've endorsed Deanna Moreno, who you saw speak tonight, Samantha Catan, David Orkin, Kristen Celeste Tate, Ian Huntley, and Conrad Blackburn, as well as we've re-endorsed our full slate of incumbent socialists in office for re-election. Senator Jabari Brisport is facing a challenge. So we're really, those are candidates and elected officials who've been really fighting for working people, and who we really believe we need to get elected in order to to continue this fight in Albany, in the halls of Albany, and in the halls of Congress.
Can I ask just one, I guess, more personal question, too, to end it? How did it feel with Zoran Mamdani winning mayor as a Democratic Socialist?
It felt incredible. I think it was a real moment where, despite that people have been fighting, seeing someone win that election who is really taking the struggles of working people seriously, who is putting working people front and center, and who is buoyed by a movement of people organizing together to improve our lives, was such an incredible moment, and really shows you don't have to sell out to corporate donors in order to win. And in fact, what people want is someone who's going to fight for the dignity of working people.
Yeah, so a Tax the Rich candidate can get on the ballot.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so thank you, Ariel. Is there anything else you'd like to say to end it? Anything to anyone watching?
That's it. Let's tax the rich, Kathy Hochul. It's time.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much.
Do you have a card or anything?
Yeah, we can share it, but thank you.
Or can I get your outlet?
Take a picture of this. Thank you. All right, and we'll see if we can keep talking to some more people. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. All right. Let's see who else is out here. Or with Status Coup. If you guys want to keep talking too, if you have anything else that you'd want to share, I'm curious about what your thoughts are on the healthcare cuts and anything related to that too. Are you also a protester out here with Tax the Rich?
Yes, I was a protester out here with Tax the Rich. Healthcare is really important to me. My mom is disabled. I'm her only child, and so I am financially responsible for her. It's really impactful that her healthcare might be cut because of these. Yeah.
Do you think that might happen, that your mom's healthcare might end up getting cut because of the Medicaid and Medicare cuts?
I mean, potentially, yeah.
Yeah, that is kind of a scary thing to think about. Mm-hmm. So what brought you out to Tax the Rich in the first place?
I've been a part of New York City DSA for a while, and it's part of that organization that I came out here today. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm curious, what borough are you? You said you're a Brooklyn guy, so what about you? What borough are you?
Brooklyn as well.
All right, we got a lot of Brooklyn people out here. Yeah, is there anything else?
Corridor, as it were.
All right, is there anything else you guys want to say?
No, thanks.
Tax the rich.
Thank you. All right. All right, well, thank you for watching. This is Status Coup in partnership with Midas Touch. You can donate as low as $5 a month. Thank you for joining us. My name is Megan Liz Smith, reporting for Status Coup, and this is a Tax the Rich rally. We are outside of Kathy Hochul's office, Governor Kathy Hochul. We are currently 30 days late on the state budget. Thank you.
Just before we cut the stream here, I want to remind everybody we are going to be live tomorrow. We have 3 live streams scheduled, so make sure you are subscribed. You'll get that notification. The first live stream is going to be around 1 p.m. Eastern. Second live stream will be, I want to say 3 p.m. Eastern and then 4 p.m. Eastern. Somewhere around there. So there's going to be live streams happening all day tomorrow for May Day. So make sure you are subscribed, get that notification. Also, statuscoup.com/join. Keep us on the ground reporting on these important stories for $5 a month. Statuscoup.com/join. All right, everyone. See you tomorrow. Take care. Bye. And you'll see Megan again. All right.